My life changed after 9/11 and the Hindu-Muslim riots that happened in India 6 months later. I was in my final year of college at the time, but instead of becoming a management consultant, I moved back to India to work with social entrepreneurs. I wanted to work in peace building, but I didn't see how I could get the skills and training to be any good at it. While creating a program to support social entrepreneurs working in conflict zones, I found myself speaking at universities and meeting a lot of students studying peace building. What these students most wanted to talk about was the kind of jobs they'd get upon graduating, but often they didn't have any experience abroad or any tangible skills. As an employer, I knew I wouldn't hire them. I started to hear other employers in the field, and some leading ones, say things like, I see 1,000 resumes of students of peace building and I never hire any of them. Or, I'm the biggest employer in this field and no university has ever asked me what I'm looking for. Around that time, I saw a study from the US Institute of Peace that confirmed my sense of the gap between what universities are teaching and what employers really need. One of the researchers and authors of that study was Dr. Craig Zelizer.
This is the second study that I've conducted on careers in international peace and conflict resolution, and the findings are consistent with this study and the first study. The primary finding of the research is that there's a significant gap between what universities are providing their students and what employers seek in the graduates they're hiring. 90% of universities, that's faculty and administrators, believe they're doing a good job preparing their students for careers in international peace and conflict resolution. However, over 50% of employers feel that academic programs are not providing students with the critical skills they need to be effective.
Cuando uno va a buscar trabajo, te piden experiencia. Pero como yo no tengo trabajo, no tengo experiencia.
But that's not all.
Although my university was relatively inexpensive, without financial assistance from the Rotary Scholarship, I would not have been able to afford it.
We're sending students out into the field with so much debt. We're doing them a terrible disservice.
El problema es que es muy caro. Por más que yo hice la mitad de mis estudios en Argentina, lo que tuve que pagar para venir a Estados Unidos fue mucho y me costó mucho trabajo conseguir el dinero.
We need a new model. We need to reimagine what's possible. And we need the best universities to join us in this effort. Every dean and professor I know wants to see their students change the world. So let's come together to give them the best chance of doing so. Be where you need to be. We start by moving closer to the action. A post-conflict country, so there's safety, but where there's also active civil society, good local universities, students are based here, learning what it's like to live and work in the field. Understand how the world works.
I definitely prefer to hire a student who's had some experience in the field, who knows his or her way around some of these critical on-the-ground issues that are facing organizations. And that would definitely make a big difference in my work.
In our model, students work almost full-time with an aid agency or a local nonprofit or a government agency or even a company for at least a year. They see a whole project cycle, they understand the constraints and challenges involved in making things happen, they learn how to navigate local culture, learn what you need to learn. While working in the field, students also take classes online together, but with the professor being remote. This allows us to combine the best of the campus model and the online model. Learn from whom you need to learn from. We also want to rethink what makes a successful instructor. There are so many people at a stage in their careers where they want to give back. They want to mentor students, they want to shape the future, but they also like their jobs and they don't want to leave them. They could teach an online course.
I mean, if you ask me if I prefer to learn finance in a traditional classroom setting or on the ground in an organization with a CFO, it's not a hard question to answer. Which would you prefer?
Don't break the bank. Because students live in a developing country, take classes online with contract faculty, and in partnership with the local university, we are able to bring the cost of the degree down enormously.
When I heard about this option, I was already doing my master, and I thought,
I wish this was an option 2 years ago when I was applying.
I think it's a great idea. As an employer, I can definitely see how this could cut down on my training and recruiting costs over the long term.
It's graduate education in the field. It's a unique model. It's something that we should support and that the world needs today.
When it came time for my master's degree, although I wanted to study peace, I decided to get a professional degree in public policy because I thought that would give me a better set of skills and training. I want to ensure that my generation is the last to have to make that choice. The field of peace building depends on it. More importantly, our ability to prevent violence and one day to see the end of war depends on this.